想要把一个男的驯化成为你的工具，给你挣钱，给你花，
Turning a man into your financial provider, someone who willingly spends money on you while loving and spoiling you, is no easy task. You need to learn how to sweet-talk him, making him willing to give to you wholeheartedly. However, many of our sisters don't understand this and instead try to play the role of a mother, controlling men too strictly, like treating them as children and keeping them tightly bound. Let me tell you, this only makes men feel annoyed and even start to resist you, and in the end, it's hard to achieve the desired results. Most men respond to softness, not toughness. They are more easily moved by gentleness and care. Some of you may think, I also prefer softness over toughness, so why should I have to coax him? But don't forget, what's the key to this game? Our goal is to make men give to us, so we must approach this issue strategically. Remember, wherever a man's wallet is, that's where his heart is. Therefore, if you want his love, you must first capture his wallet. When we are with men, our ultimate goal is none other than to make him love us. To achieve this, we must employ various tactics, constantly adapting and tolerating. Sometimes you might get upset and feel the need to confront him head-on, but while you may vent your emotions, the end result is often that the money is gone. At that point, look back and think, once you've secured tangible financial returns, what does a little face-saving victory even matter? So sisters, always remember, the woman who can control a man's wallet is the real winner. Those who insist on petty victories in small matters, focusing only on winning verbally, are acting more like children. Once you understand this, you'll truly hold the upper hand in both life and relationships, keeping the man firmly in your grasp.
有多少人在问男朋友不听话怎么办？
Many of my sisters often ask me, what should I do if my boyfriend doesn't listen? And how should I discipline my husband if he's not obedient? Actually, when you realize he's not listening but still choose to stay in the relationship, this already shows you have a certain tolerance level and can accept this situation. I won't elaborate on men's superiority, but their inferior side, in some sense, is quite close to animal instincts. You must understand, men's genetic advantage isn't much higher than that of gorillas, only a few percentage points more. So, exactly how much is it? Honestly, the difference extends to many decimal places, and I don't intend to count them all. The point is, you need to clearly recognize the basic nature of men's genes and learn to combine the work of an animal trainer with managing men. Some women may argue with me, thinking that men can be nurtured with praise. They would say, just praise him more and see if he gets better. But I want to tell you, relying solely on compliments won't fundamentally change him. Praising him won't turn a grassroots into an elite. Growth and improvement don't come simply from flattery. Imagine you're watching an animal show, and a monkey jumps to the top of a mountain. You give it a banana, and it will keep jumping, but this is merely repeating a simple physical action, not a qualitative leap. So, if you want a man to make real changes, relying on compliments alone is impossible. You also need to understand one more thing. If you are also a grassroot, then no matter how much you praise him, it's just one grassroot praising another grassroot man. If you want him to become better, the key lies in relying on a system and environment that are superior to him to restrain him, not just through empty compliments.
今天跟大家讲一下真正高段位的女海王是怎么搞你心态的。
Today, I want to talk to you about how those truly high-level gold diggers silently mess with your mindset. Actually, many people think that gold diggers are the type who play hot and cold, keeping you at arm's length from the start. But the truly skilled gold diggers won't be that direct. Their methods are much more sophisticated. When you first meet them, they give you a strong sense of initiative, making you feel like they're genuinely enthusiastic about you. At the beginning, she will show great admiration for you, acting coy and sending you some flirtatious, sexy selfies, sharing bits of her life as if she's trying to close the gap between you two. These actions will make you feel special, like she's holding you in the palm of her hand. This ego massage is extremely addictive for men. Maybe at first, you didn't pay much attention to her or weren't particularly interested, but as she continues her relentless approach, your vanity starts to swell. After all, it's rare for a girl to express her affection for you so openly, and before you know it, you've fallen into her trap. You start to worry that if you lose her, this pampered feeling will disappear too. This fear of loss makes you care more and more about her, and you may even start pursuing her in return. Once she senses that you're fully attracted and even making moves toward her, she'll suddenly pull back. For example, she might say something like, I feel like our relationship hasn't reached that point yet. Or, I think we need more time to get to know each other better. At this moment, you'll be confused, thinking everything was going well. Why the sudden change? You start doubting yourself, wondering if you did something wrong or if you were too forward. This change in mindset pushes you to invest more in her, both materially and emotionally, hoping to regain that initial enthusiasm she showed. However, during this process, your sunk cost keeps increasing. You're hoping that one day she'll return to her passionate state, but what you don't realize is that she never intended to take the relationship seriously from the start. Her goal is to extract some kind of value from you, or to put it more bluntly, she enjoys the process of manipulating your emotions. The more you invest, the colder she becomes, because she's already gotten what she wanted. So, when you encounter this situation, I can only advise you to be cautious of women who shower you with affection for no apparent reason, especially during the early stages when you don't know each other well. If she suddenly starts providing you with emotional value, remember, there's no such thing as a free lunch. That's right, brothers, this is not a good sign.
我今天就给兄弟们揭秘一个女人刚逆心态的手段。
Today, I'm going to reveal to the brothers some of the tactics women use to control your emotions, helping you break free from the fate of being a simp. In fact, it's very simple how women manipulate men. Deep down, they know exactly what you truly want and understand your needs. However, they deliberately won't fulfill those needs. Even if you put in a lot of effort or pay a high price, they still won't give you the reward you desire. These tactics are quite common, such as being hot and cold, reducing the frequency of meetings, and using silent treatment. When your mentality starts to collapse, and you're obsessing day and night over whether she really loves you, she might suddenly give you a bit of sweetness, making you feel like everything has reset. I've seen this hit you with a stick, then give you a candy trick way too many times. Some brothers ask me all the time, does this woman actually like me or not? In reality, you need to understand that the reason she behaves this way is because she knows this method works on you and she can benefit from it. The logic is very simple. In this mode of interaction, the woman treats you as she pleases, disappearing when she wants, ignoring you when she feels like it. And when she suddenly comes back, she acts as if nothing happened and expects you to do things for her again. The reason this happens is that you have unconsciously allowed her to treat you this way. As long as you tolerate it once, she will use the same, or even worse, tactics next time. The true purpose of silent treatment and sudden disappearance is actually to force you to reveal your sense of need, allowing her to control you. She will use your dependency on her to continue extracting more emotional or material rewards. The core issue is very simple. Even if you are completely capable of fulfilling those needs on your own, as long as she deliberately withholds them, you will feel empty and anxious. In such situations, you will often pursue her blindly, gradually losing your boundaries and standards, eventually becoming someone who only seeks to please her, like a clown. Many men fall into this abyss, ending up with nothing and losing themselves. I don't want to see more men being emotionally manipulated by these women, so remember, these behaviors from women are intentional, not accidental. Don't let them control you so easily. Taking control of your emotions and maintaining your own standards is the key.
渣女是如何玩弄男人的？
How do manipulative women play with men's emotions? What kind of woman can truly be called manipulative? I believe many people's first reaction is to think of women who love to party at nightclubs, date multiple men simultaneously, or frequently ask men for money. But if you only stay at this surface level, your understanding of a manipulative woman is far from deep enough. Today, I will gradually reveal to you, step by step, how different levels of manipulative women, from beginner to advanced, toy with men's emotions. First, let's take a look at the lowest level, which I call the bronze level manipulative women. Their characteristics are very obvious. They have clear goals and are direct in their approach. The most common tactic these women use is to package themselves, using a sexy appearance, tight clothing, and seductive makeup to attract men who are easily hooked. Their ultimate goal is to extract money from their targets. Whether it's through acting cute, getting upset, or demanding things, these tactics are very straightforward. They don't waste time. Efficiency is key. They aim to get a man's money as quickly as possible, and once their goal is achieved, they quickly withdraw. These types of manipulative women are easy to identify, and most men realize what's happening the moment they start paying, but by then, it's often too late. Next, we move to the silver-level manipulative women. These women know that men aren't fools, and being too direct or aggressive in asking for things will only cause the man to lose interest or become wary. So, they choose more hidden and sophisticated tactics. These women often present themselves as pure and harmless, with flowing long hair and an innocent, pitiful demeanor. They are skilled at portraying themselves as emotionally wounded or inexperienced in love, gaining the man's sympathy. They make you feel like they are weak and need protection. Frequently, they'll use phrases like, "I'm not good enough for you" or "you're too good for me," which only deepens the man's emotional involvement. Even though they don't directly ask for gifts, they subtly and casually drop hints about things they like or their address, and the man eventually ends up willingly buying things for them. Some men even go as far as sending gifts directly to the address she mentioned. Moving up, we have the gold-level manipulative women. These women might not stand out in appearance at all. They may even look plain and simple, to the point where even other women wouldn't be able to recognize them as gold diggers. They appear to be frugal and good at managing a household, but behind the scenes, they are involved with multiple men at once, cleverly using each man's emotions and financial support, sometimes even saving enough to buy property. Their actions are often carefully calculated and complex. Not only can they get their husband to pay for a house in full, but they can also get a lover to cover the down payment and make the mortgage payments. This kind of double play tactic has left many people in awe, and these women can be considered top-tier manipulative women. Finally, there are the true king-level manipulative women. These women go beyond material gain. Their behavior is purely about control and manipulating human nature. What they enjoy is the thrill of controlling others' emotions, regardless of whether they gain any financial benefit from it. Their tactics are masterful and cold-hearted, making men fall deep without realizing it at all.
渣女通过6步就能够毁掉一个男人。
A manipulative woman can completely destroy a man in just 6 simple steps. You might not believe it, but this is something every brother should seriously pay attention to, because you might already be unknowingly taken advantage of by such a woman without even realizing it. First, the most commonly used tactic by a manipulative woman is to neglect you. She is well versed in playing hot and cold, knowing that this will keep you on edge and ignite your desire to win her over. In order to win her favor, you might end up spending a lot of time and money to please her, while she has already taken the psychological upper hand and skillfully controls you. Next comes the second step, elevating herself. She enjoys the benefits you provide, but she's in no rush to develop the relationship further. When you want to clarify her feelings, she will claim that she's a slow burner, introverted, and traditional, giving you the impression that she takes relationships very seriously. In reality, this is just her excuse for avoiding responsibility. On one hand, it solidifies her image as a good woman, and on the other hand, it subtly suggests that you should be prepared to give even more. The third step is to provoke you. This move is particularly tantalizing. She might deliberately praise other men in front of you, creating a sense of competition and making you feel like you need to try harder. At the same time, this method confuses your judgment, leading you to believe that by working as hard as those other men, you can eventually win her heart. The most ruthless step is the fourth one, tempting you. Just when you feel like all hope is lost and are about to give up, she suddenly turns around and gives you a glimmer of hope. She might come to you for comfort or ask for your help, and might even engage in flirty conversations with you. During a date, she might even allow some physical contact, making you believe that your chance has finally arrived. At this point, your heart feels revived and hope is reignited once again. The fifth step is to exploit you. Many brothers still don't realize the seriousness of the situation at this point. When you think you've finally won her heart, in reality, you've already become her tool. This stage, she reveals her true intentions and begins to drain you of everything, whether it's money or energy. To her, you're nothing more than a resource to be used whenever needed. Finally, the sixth and last step is to abandon you. This moment will inevitably come. Once she believes that you no longer hold any value, she will leave you without hesitation. What's even more infuriating is that when you question her cold-heartedness, she will turn the blame back on you, saying you weren't trying hard enough or weren't good enough. Brothers, you need to understand that a woman who truly loves you will never use these tactics to manipulate you. If she doesn't have feelings for you, she will make it clear from the beginning instead of stringing you along. If you find yourself in a situation that matches 3 or more of the steps mentioned above, I strongly urge you to guard your wallet and protect your heart. Don't end up as the fool who gains nothing but wasted effort in the end.
Some girls show a strong desire for control in relationships, which is actually a very tricky problem. Because once this behavior continues, it may unknowingly push the person who truly loves you further and further away. Many times, the end of a relationship is not because the two people no longer love each other, but because one person's control makes the other feel oppressed, suffocated, and eventually has no choice but to leave. When two people are together, if they can't get along easily and happily, how far can the relationship really go? So whether your relationship has already fallen into a cold, distant state, or the other person has given you a chance to change, you must act immediately. Reflect on why you always want to control others, and then learn to adjust your behavior. So, why do some girls have such a strong desire for control? First, this may be closely related to their upbringing. If you grew up in a family where one person had absolute authority and others could only obey unconditionally, then you might not have learned how to establish a healthy and equal relationship with others. To avoid being controlled in a relationship, you might subconsciously choose to control the other person to protect yourself. Another situation is if the father figure in your family was absent or unclear, and the mother or other primary caregivers were too dominant. They might project their anxiety and insecurity onto you. This could cause you to crave dependence in a relationship, but also fear being dependent, leaving you feeling insecure. In such cases, the desire for control becomes your way of coping with inner unease. In fact, behind what seems like a dominant behavior, there is often a fragile and easily hurt heart. Additionally, some girls tend to worry excessively in relationships. They always feel that they can change or save the other person, believing that through their efforts, they can make the other person better. However, the truth is that excessive giving and involvement not only won't improve the relationship, but can also drag you into an unhealthy relationship, causing you to lose your independence and judgment. So, how should we deal with this situation? First, you need to reduce interference with others and focus more on your inner world. Don't always try to prove your worth through the other person's reactions. Only when you love someone with an equal and healthy mindset will you find yourself becoming more confident and attractive. Learning to be more independent and strong will give you more control in a relationship and make it more likely that you will build a truly stable and healthy relationship. Do you agree with my viewpoint? Feel free to leave your comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. Your support is very important to us, and we will continue to provide you with even better content. Thank you again for watching, and see you next time.